What if you could step inside a dream? Not just your own, but everyone's. What happens when one man tries and gets more than he bargained for? Elias was a genius, but he couldn't sleep. Night after night, he'd stare at the ceiling, his mind racing. So he built a machine, a helmet of polished copper and glowing crystals. He called it the Somnus. Its purpose: to let him finally enter the world of dreams. He believed if he could just understand his dreams, he could finally find rest. He never imagined he wouldn't be alone in there. One night, he placed the Somnus on his head. The world dissolved into a hum of static. When his vision cleared, he wasn't in his own dream. He stood on a street corner made of melting clocks and floating lampposts. This was the city's dream, a shared landscape of collective thoughts. He was a tourist in the city's subconscious, but he quickly realized something was wrong. The Somnus wouldn't shut off. He was trapped. Panic set in. He was lost in a labyrinth built from millions of minds. He saw fragments of other people's lives, a child's forgotten birthday party, an artist's fear of a blank canvas, a banker's recurring nightmare of falling. Each scene was a tiny, private world. Elias, the lonely inventor, was suddenly surrounded by the most intimate parts of humanity. He felt a strange connection, a shared vulnerability he had never experienced in the waking world. As he wandered, he noticed he wasn't just an observer. His own anxieties began to shape the dreamscape. The buildings would twist into the complex gears of his inventions. The sky would sometimes fill with the static of his sleepless nights. He was a part of this collective dream, and it was a part of him. He realized this wasn't just about escaping his insomnia anymore. This was about understanding the invisible threads that connect us all. But with every step deeper, the path back to his own mind grew fainter. Was he losing himself? He started to see recurring figures, not people, but symbols. A lone wolf, representing a shared sense of isolation. A lighthouse, standing for a universal search for guidance. These weren't just dreams, they were the city's soul laid bare. He saw its hopes, its fears, its secret desires. He saw that behind every face in the waking world was a universe of complexity, just like his own. The loneliness he felt for so long began to melt away. In the heart of this dream city, Elias found a quiet garden. It was a space created by everyone's need for peace. Here, he saw apparitions of others, dreamers like him, tending to glowing plants. He didn't speak to them, but he felt their presence. He understood that connection wasn't about words. It was about shared experience, shared vulnerability. He learned that true rest wasn't about shutting his mind off, but about opening his heart to others. He finally understood how to get back. It wasn't about fighting the dream, it was about accepting it. He focused on his own deepest hope, the simple desire to connect. As he did, a door appeared. It looked just like his own front door. He walked through it, and with a soft click, he woke up in his workshop. The sun was rising. For the first time in years, Elias felt a sense of peace. He hadn't conquered his insomnia, but he had found something far more valuable. The story of Elias doesn't end here. What happens when he decides to go back in, not as a prisoner, but as a guide? To see what happens next, make sure you're subscribed and click here to watch the next part of his incredible journey. Thanks for watching.